Welcome back to another episode of Queerprenuers Unleashed. I'm your host, Dustyn Baulkham, and on Queerprenuers, we interview other 2S LGBT identifying entrepreneurs about their journeys, successes, and challenges being an entrepreneur. Today, we're recording on the unceded ancestral territory of the Syilx Okanagan people, and we appreciate the stewardship of the land on which we enjoy. And today, I'm pleased to introduce my friend Benoit. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, in your beautiful house.
It's my office. I actually work from here, and usually that chair is sitting over there.
Yeah.
And I look at my garden, which is fantastic.
Yeah, currently covered in snow as we record this.
Somehow I can't be productive in a regular office setting. It's just too depressing. So
And probably too
here I
distracting
am.
too.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, hi, I'm Benoit. Vaudry is my last name, but I usually go just with Benoit because it's a mouthful as it is. And
Story of your life.
I'm a realtor.
You are.
In Kelowna.
Yeah, and we'll dig into that a bit more. I always like to
Okay.
kind of start talking about you personally first, who you are as an individual and whatnot. So how do you identify?
He, him, his. I don't really care, actually. That's one of those I'm assuming we'll talk about this, but I perform in drag once in a while. It's more of a creative outlet for me, not a hobby. Well, that's a hobby.
You're trying to make fun of Ella without
Yes, I'm
making fun of
totally
Ella?
making fun of Ella, my drag mother. I have a lot of fun with it. So when I'm in drag, it's one of those things. It's always funny whenever I get that question. I don't really know what to say because I don't really care. I present more as a somewhat masculine man.
We're going for Butch Hunter vibes today.
Butch Hunter vibe. You can't see me, can you?
No,
Yes,
obviously not. Just your glasses.
Yeah, just for the record, people, I had no idea this was going to be on camera. I thought it was just a 2-second vignette. I thought it was a podcast.
It is a podcast. So it'll be on all. It's
a visual podcast.
It's video and it's audio.
But
like,
my hair's shite.
It looks great.
Oh, thank you.
I was going to ask him, like, I wonder if he would do it in drag, but
well, long-winded answer. He, him, as a guy mostly.
Yeah.
But you know, like when I hang out with Ella, she's gonna call me she, and I couldn't care less. You know what I mean? Like it's just or bitch or whatever. You know.
And is like identify as a gay male.
Oh yes, very
okay,
much
cool.
so.
No, that's okay.
No. Very. So yeah, I guess the cisgendered male.
Yeah. Perfect.
I like my masculinity. Whenever that's probably why I wear a beard to look manly. No,
Go Butch.
yeah, very gay, very yes, love the man.
Yeah, you and me both,
and my husband. Present as a husband, married man as well. Like often, I mean, it's not asked very often anymore. In like it used to be a thing, right? Like the social, like are you Miss or Mrs. or it was always towards the.
Oh, like towards your partner?
Well, to announce your marital status. It used to be a big thing.
Always like, yeah, are you married?
Now nobody really cares, but
No.
I love my husband and I'm proud of it. Of the marriage.
Oh, okay. I was like,
the ring.
You're calling him an it?
No, not him. The marriage. He identifies as a man very much so. Thank you.
Go.
Not an it. The object of my relationship.
There you go. And how long have you guys been together?
On and off. Well, not on and off. Like we met about 12 years ago.
Okay.
The first couple years was a bit more casual.
Sure.
And then it got seriouser and seriouser. Excuse my French. I know it's not a word, people.
No one's here to judge you.
I don't feel judged at all.
Good.
Yeah. So and we've lived together in Calgary. That's where we met.
Oh, okay.
And we moved here 6-7 years ago now. We first moved to Vernon. We made it out to Kelowna about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, about 5 years. Yeah.
Just before a little bit before the pandemic.
Yeah, actually, months before the pandemic, we got into this house. It was just before the Christmas before the pandemic, and then the spring that came after was, which is great because I love my house and it's a good place to be in if you're gonna be.
And were you still working in Vernon when you first moved here, or did you like transfer over?
So I was with another brokerage, another real estate office there. Royal Lepage in Vernon, they were great. But I knew I was transferring here, and so I wanted to move my business here.
Of course.
So I was in a little bit of a transition. But I changed office here before we moved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
So, yeah.
Okay. And how long have the two of you been married?
We got married. I should know the year.
I mean, I guess
5
it's
years.
fine. It's been a while.
It's 5 years.
After the second year, it's like, it's been a while. It's a lifetime in gay years.
So we were living in Vernon at the time.
Okay.
So that was just before that. So we got 2018, 17, 18.
And in the range, Kate. It's been
6 years? 5?
about a handful. There you go. How about
Sorry,
that?
honey. He's never going to watch this.
There you go. Then you're safe.
Yeah, there you go.
And how long have you been out?
Oh, boy. That's a good question. I was actually thinking about that earlier. I don't think I ever have had to come out. Well, came out of my mother gate, that's obvious. And that was it. I was about 14, 15 when I clued in. And, in the late 80s, early 90s, because, of course, I'm only 22.
Obviously.
Of course. I was in a high school. It was a big high school. I was in a small town in Quebec, north of Montreal, called Saint-Jérôme. And there was about 2,000 students, and I just couldn't keep it in. I was very flamboyant back then, which is quite funny. It's like I needed to let it out.
Express yourself.
Yeah, and so, I'd wear like little bandanas and stuff, it was very shocking at the time in that small town. And then I came out of the closet, and I remember the principal of that school coming to me, calling me in the office, because there was a bunch of guys who wanted to beat me up back then. And they came to me, and it was a big kerfuffle, and other people came to my defense. It was crazy. It was big. And the principal called me into the office, and he said that I shouldn't tell people that I'm gay.
That was a mentality for many years.
Yeah.
Just, keep it to yourself.
Yeah, like we don't care, but don't say anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that was funny. So it was very early on, and I was very public about it, and I kind of wanted at the time to make not a show. I just really wanted to scream it to the world and tell people this is what it is, and
loud and proud.
Give your head a fucking jig and move on. Like that's what it was. So yeah, about 14, 15 maybe. Long-winded answer again.
Cool. Yeah. Not a lot of people can say that. I can't. I won't until I was in my early 20s.
Yeah, and it was really funny. That's a kind of a nice, cute coming out story. I remember I was in a chemistry class, and I only remember that because later on that guy came into the picture. And so I moved away. I moved to Toronto when I was pretty young, like around 17, so a few years after that, because I needed the big city to express myself. And then I came back, and I went to my hometown, and I met this guy in a bar who said, "Oh my God, I remember you from my chemistry class at the high school we went to." And I'm like, "Right, I remember you." And he's like, "I just want you to know that you helped me so much when you came out, because I was there and I was too shy and I couldn't say anything." Right. And that was just like, it was quite funny because it came out, I don't know how many years later.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
It's nice to have that impact on someone.
Yeah, it was fun.
Love it.
Yeah, I think a part of the kids who were against me, or I think it might have been some, what do you call it? The tribal effect. They're like, one of them think it's not cool, so all of them will get together more so than, actually. I don't know. That's how I try to wrap my head around with compassion, is that maybe they're just like the gang effect. But I had lots of friends. I was always a popular kid, student, so that helped a lot. Yeah.
So obviously, sounds like a fairly good coming out story. Reasonable?
I think so. Yeah. And obviously, I don't regret any of it. It was eventful. Some moments were a little bit challenging, and when that principal told me to just keep it to myself, I was just that just made it worse. But so yeah, and a funny thing is, throughout all this, I never came out to my parents, not even once.
Oh,
no, I used to work in a restaurant.
okay.
And the manager knew my dad, the manager was my dad's sister's girlfriend, something like that,
Okay.
related, who then told him. And one day he said, it's not because you're gay we don't love you. And I'm like, wow, okay. And when I grew up, which is very uncommon, even to this day, my mother had gay and lesbian friends over.
Okay.
And I think she asked me when I was 14, like, are you gay? And I'm like, no, Mom, I have a girlfriend. She probably rolled her eyes and be like, here, I have condoms for you. So.
Yeah, don't make bad choices.
No. So it was okay in my household.
Yeah.
So I feel blessed and privileged because it's not very common.
No,
even
you
today.
hear both. Yeah, you hear both sides of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's challenging, but cool. Well, thank you for sharing that.
So I'm gay.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, had no idea. So let's talk. I want to get into the entrepreneurial side of things, and so, as you mentioned, you're a realtor with Royal Lepage. How long ago did you start? I guess because I know there's like the education process, but when did you officially become a realtor?
I became licensed about 6 years ago.
Okay.
And I started at the office in Vernon, then transferred here.
Right.
Because we knew we were coming here, so it would make sense to base my business here. Ironically, half of my business is in Vernon today.
So, out of curiosity, do you have to be licensed in both cities, or can you just need a head office kind of thing?
Yeah. So in most of Canada, that's the same, but in BC, you need to work for a brokerage, so you cannot be independent.
Right.
And when you get licensed, technically you're licensed all over British Columbia.
Oh, okay.
But the caveat is that you need to practice in an area where you're considered an expert. So I could technically sell or buy or list a condo downtown Vancouver, but the market is so vastly different,
Right.
that if anything went wrong, I would get sued.
Right.
And because of that, I would probably be in trouble. It wouldn't be very smart anyway, business-wise. So I'm practiced from mostly Peachland to Vernon, but I'll go as far as Penticton and Enderby.
Okay.
I don't do Grand Road. It's too far. And the name is too funny.
Yeah, right. Made some good business out of it.
Kidding. Actually, I've done business in the shoe shop as well. So because I know the areas,
right,
and I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah. And what made you want to become a realtor?
I'm really good with people. So I'm a people pleaser, one might say. It's coming up in therapy, so imagine that. But the people pleaser part of me is also linked with the need to help. It's part of me. Like if somebody's hurting, I need to help. And, that's part of me always, every job. And I excel in customer service. I've trained myself over the years with people. So I'm a diplomat, I guess. And it's not everyone who can navigate this. And I realized that I could help people. I didn't know to what extent I would help people because selling or buying a home is extremely emotional. And the joke is that we become therapists a little bit.
I remember that from my banking days. Yeah.
Yes.
Money does that to people, right? And it's just lets everything out.
Yeah, and this is where people live. So to me, before getting into it, I knew it would be stressful. I knew I would go into people's house and then say, you know what, let's just do this, and you need to move. And I moved probably 100 times in my life. Not always buying, but I know how stressful it is. So I had that I could offer. So it was really about helping people, and the money came, but not easily. Like I thought, like a lot of entrepreneurs, I guess, that I'm going to get in there and I'm going to make $100,000 the first year. And holy shit, it took me 2 or 3 years before I started making money.
Right.
Because you can't go to the bank and say, hey, I'm a realtor, I'm starting a business. You probably know this. They couldn't care less. All I need is a laptop, really.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't, they're not going to give me a business loan to start my business. But
no, and I think a lot of people, there's all sorts of things, right? Whether it's their own line of credit or whatnot. And that's what a lot of us entrepreneurs use. You kind of use your savings and and use your savings and use your savings. And then
I just used my husband.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a joke, but as a family, we planned this together because we knew going in it would take a little while for me before I could make a return, make money.
Right.
And that wasn't, it's not easy. Like you can't, and that's one of the biggest misconceptions that people have thinking going into real estate. Sure, we can make good money. It's not easy. Yeah. You have to hustle and bustle, and it takes a while before you make money.
Well, and that's, basically all businesses, they take time to build up and all of that. I mean, there's the odd one where it's like you start making money overnight, but that's that's the odd one out there that is that way.
Yeah,
so
the lucky one.
You got to hustle and all that fun stuff. But, and so, there's obviously a lot of different avenues you could go down in terms of some of those things you talked about, like customer service and people pleaser and things like that. What made you land on real estate?
I don't have a great education. Okay. And I thought this is one way as a business that I could do it within some sort of a structure, like even though we're self-employed completely. I'm actually I pay to go to work. I pay the brokerage, and that's how we don't make money. Is that the first little bit is you have to pay your due and your fees, the access to this and that. But I really thought I can help and I can make money out of it. And I'm a planner. I love orchestrating different things. I don't need to do everything. I'm also good at letting go and letting the people do their job. And I met a few realtors who were like, you'd be great. So I asked a lot of questions first. Right. And I'm like, I wanted to know the truth. Am I going to make money right away? And they're like, no. No, you won't. Some do, very rarely. And then I was scared of the number aspect because I suck at math.
Scared of the number. Yeah.
The numbers. I'm not. Well, I thought I sucked at math. As it turns out, I don't.
So we have phones. We live calculators in our pockets nowadays.
Well, yeah, but a lot of it is just common sense. So I thought I'd give it a shot. Yeah. And after interviewing people, I knew I could make money out of it and be successful at it. And
and you have been, because you just won an award last quarter.
I did. Right? I was a top producer.
Was it for the quarter, the year? What?
No, just a month. It was just a top producer for November. But there's 300 and some agents at my office, and I was top 20. And I had no clue it was coming. I had a really good November. Yeah. And that's the thing with my job is it's
ebbs and flows.
Yeah, cyclical, and it's tied in with the economy and COVID. And so it was nice. It was nice to be recognized for it. What else? There was and I got like a master of sales. All the titles are really funny, and
well, especially in the queer world, they really are.
Exactly, in a gay male concept. I'm like on my some of my Dora business card, because I include drag into my business. It says I'll serve your needs from tops to bottoms, meaning the house.
Yeah. So you just had a great month. This is a good time to ask for a loan, hey?
I'm broke. It's spent already. But seriously, the year was shit. It was a very difficult year for a lot of people in many businesses. But real estate, well, it's my world, so particularly challenging because people are not buying. People are trying to sell, but they still think they can get 2021 prices for their homes. It's not happening, you know. So that the whole beginning of the year up until probably this fall, we had a little bit of a surge in the fall, and I did well.
So actually, one of the things I like to talk about too is how your queer identity comes into your business, and you kind of touched on it there with your business cards and drag, and we haven't actually talked about your drag persona yet. So I think this is a good opportunity to talk about drag. And we obviously worked together in the past with your drag.
Yes, yes.
Tell us a bit about Dora.
Yeah, so Dora Nub, as in, so the funny thing about the name is I wanted something real estate related, and I was going to go with like, I need a house or something, you know, I need a mansion. It would have been cute, but too obvious. So I thought I'd be subtle because I'm a subtle girl.
Yeah.
Subtle. Like if you've seen me in drag, the hair is always big, and I'm not a young and pretty lady, so I'm a classy.
Yeah.
So cool. Doorknob. Mrs. Doorknob, I think. Anyway, I have a business coach. She's in Toronto, and it's quite funny because Toronto is another world in real estate. 100%. Like they're completely
world
crazy.
With everything.
Yeah, with everything, exactly. And I told her I do drag and everything, and she's just loving it. And she's like, what about something related with drag? And I'm like, oh, okay, I could do like little tidbits and drag on camera, which I did a little bit. And then we were talking about doing a potential workshop, and she suggested the ideas like, oh my God, what about a workshop in drag? I'm like, oh my God, that's brilliant. And so the idea was born thanks to her. Yeah. And I thought about it, and I'm like, that's crazy. And the funny thing is, it's 2020, it was 2022 at the time, I think.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And the idea of dressing up in drag and do a workshop that's serious, was still controversial in my own head. I'm like, this is a bit crazy. And so I hired this great company called Rebellious Unicorn, who does events, and the schmuck who runs the events decided that it was okay. But I was honored because I remember you telling me, and I know you weren't like tooting your own horn or anything, but you said, you know what, normally we do bigger events, but I really like what you're doing. Yeah. So that meant a lot to me. Thanks. So we did that. We decided to have the event. So the idea was to do a presentation about real estate. The topic was first-time home buyers, which is funny because usually they don't have a lot of money, but I love helping first-time home buyers. Right. And so a lot of realtors won't touch them because they can't buy anything big. And I'm like, okay, well, you're stupid. Yeah. They're going to love me now, and in 10 years, they're going to buy something bigger.
Exactly.
There you go. So anyway, I decided to do that with asking a few people around. And then I reached out to you and found another co-host with me. I wanted a mortgage broker there who came up with me. And basically, it was just like if I did a regular presentation on real estate, and let's face it, it's boring. Real estate, banking, for a lot of people. It's
dry.
It's dry. For a handful of people, it's fun. Like my husband's a financial analyst. He loves it. Yeah. He gets off on an Excel spreadsheet. You should see our budget. It's a work of art.
I believe it.
Yes. Whereas I'm like, sure, yes, honey.
But that's why, you have different personalities.
Well, exactly.
That way, right? So then you can balance each other out.
Exactly. Yeah. So we make a great team. Exactly. And so I ran the idea by him because it wasn't cheap. Like it was quite an expense or an investment. Yeah. And so at first it was like an idea of, oh my God, it'll be fun. Yeah. Because for a lot of people, not only is finance and real estate boring, plain old boring, but it's also intimidating. And especially, so the more I dug into it, then the more I was thinking about it, the more I was building my own little business plan, for project plan, I guess. Sure. And then I realized, oh my God, this is a little bit deeper than I thought. It goes a little further. I thought, you know what? A lot of people in the community don't identify with the typical business. And I'm making a square, like the business world at large is very square. Like it's, I'm a round peg and I don't fit in the square hole. Wait. Never mind. We'll just stop right there. Yeah. But I could if I tried real hard. Yeah. But no. And for a lot of people, so for me, I've been out forever and a day, and it's easy for me to be self-affirming, to be myself, to go to the bank and say, hey, my husband and I are wanting this and this and that. Right. For a lot of people, it's not. They're not there yet. Right. They're not ready. And so when you go into a bank and all you see, when you go online, when you look at realtors, when everything you see is people wearing a gray goddamn business suit and the same fucking haircut.
Yeah.
They all do. So I get, because a lot of my job is involved in the banking world, as you know, and financing and lending, I get emails from a ton of them all the time. And it's like the same person all the time. Yeah. But that's not the reality of the world. Like, the world is not like that. And I can only imagine somebody who's going, I don't know, transitioning or deep in the closet and afraid, but they're already in a relationship and they don't, like, it's not accessible to a lot of people. Yeah. So I as I'm doing and digging into this, I'm like, holy shit, this is fun. This is hopefully going to have an impact and help others. So put it up together. It was recorded by your team. Yeah. And I don't think you were there.
No, I was trying to think that, because at that time I had staff, which I don't anymore. Well, yeah, I mean, we got lots of positive feedback, but there was also, and in particular, someone else in the industry of real estate that's also queer.
Oh boy!
And has done some drag in the past, and we don't need to mention any names, but they were pretty loud.
Mm. And you know what? So to put it, so what you're saying is basically what happened is. So funny thing is, I had a press release written because I knew it was extraordinary. And let's face it, I love a good plug. And you know, if you're going to talk about it, go for it.
Well, you should.
And yeah, and I was very proud of the work we were doing.
Absolutely.
And so I'm like, okay, let's do it out there. And so I knew that on social media, back then we could share news, because now, the news, evil.
Now you can take a screenshot.
Yeah, exactly. I knew some of the comments would be funny. So, and this is going to sound kind of mean, but I don't really care, because they're assholes. So the public would have things like, well, if I wanted a clown, I'd go to McDonald's, or like, I don't want a clown to open my house, or, I mean, so first of all, there was nothing anywhere in the article or my workshop that I would show up in drag. Yeah. For me, this is a persona. I'm an actor. Yeah. I love it. I'm a clown in a dress. I don't identify as a woman, and whatever. Like, for some it does, and what if I did? Yeah. What if I did? Who cares?
Who the fuck cares?
It's not for you, but for me, it's very clear. Like, this is me, kind of the realtor. I would dress up a little bit, but I didn't know I was getting filmed. So, so that was that. And so I would read the comments, and they were hilarious to me. Yeah. Those were really funny, and I'm like, oh, fuck. So one of my hobby during that week leading up to it was clicking on their profile picture. And sure enough, this is very gratuitous and judgmental of me, but actually, let's call it an observation.
There you go.
They looked like idiots. And then once in a while, I'd click into the pictures, and sure enough, a lot of them had like those really weird worldviews that are completely opposite to mine, which is fine. Totally. You can do whatever you want. You can believe whatever you want. I don't care. The problem becomes when you're a person and you go out of your way to try to impede on those people. So what happened is, just shortly leading up to it, probably a week prior, another realtor from another company, who on paper is kind of like me. He's Caucasian. He's a gay male. He is married. He has a successful business, I think. I'm not sure. He also has performed in drag. And we're roughly the same age. I'm a lot prettier. Thank you very much.
Agreed.
Thank you. This person went online and started a bashing campaign, really saying that this is against our code of ethics as realtors, that it's unprofessional. Now, interestingly enough, this is the same person who didn't reply to an email of mine about business a few months prior to that. I remember, because I knew who he was. Yeah. I met him once briefly. That's the funniest thing. So that person went out of his way to go on a campaign online, bashing what I was doing, saying things like, well, would you want a surgeon to come to your operation dressed in drag? And I'm like, first of all, dude, you're a fucking realtor. don't compare yourself to a surgeon.
You're not saving lives.
You don't go to school for 10, 15, 20 years to do your job.
And
you have a
hundreds of
6 month
thousands in debt
Yes.
while you go to school.
So you're comparing. Yeah, that's
like pineapple to apples.
Yes, exactly. And pineapple is so much more delicious. So yeah, it was really funny. So it was funny but not funny, and so he went out of his way, and he decided to rally a few of the other realtors. And interestingly enough, I think what what came out of it, we thought he had a lot of conservative friends, because his brokerage and business might be more associated with conservative people, with have lots of old and wealthy money and whatnot, and it was against the code of ethics, something stupid like that. The funny thing is, one of the biggest rule in our code of ethics is that you cannot badmouth another professional in the industry. He did so publicly, professionally, sharing my stuff. I could have complained against him. What I did instead, and it was very difficult, is I shut the fuck up. I took everything out. It hurt me very much.
Okay.
It was probably one of the most difficult things I went through in my queer life. Yeah. And ironically, it came from somebody who on paper is just like me. Yeah. That was just fucked right up. Like, it screwed me up. You have no idea. I got little anxiety over it, but I have anxiety about a lot of things. But I was really hurt and sad, mostly. And then I became angry, but it was so hurtful. And I reached out to a bunch of my friends, and a lot of people in the community supported me, and then went on to his things, telling him how much of a fuckwad he is. I remember the owner and manager of a brokerage, another brokerage, went on his page and said, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. As a result of that, some people from my office, this is like one of the top realtor in my office that I don't really know. We kind of met in passing, but he's like one of the top agent that's been around forever, phoned me out of the blue, totally hetero, straight, you know, like totally, like we're completely two different worlds. And he called me to say, hey, buddy, I just wanted to let you know I'm proud of what you're doing. That's awesome. Continue being you. So I ended up getting a lot of support, but that moment in time, that 2-3 days, I think, it was really hard for me to get over it.
I mean, us as queer people, you know, and especially today, in this day and age, like, we experience so much hate from people outside of our community that we don't need within inside our own community, and to have this kind of hate. So it's just, it was, I still remember it and how ridiculous it was.
And this is the times, the period in history where we've been getting a lot more backlash as drag queens, because they're especially coming from America, but it's here. We've had protests at our shows, like almost every productions you put up, and that's all happening at that moment in time too. And I'm just like, so that was just really fucked up. But the funny thing is, about a year after that, I got an email from HGTV, the home renovation show, and I'm like, I thought it was weird. I thought it was something weird, a scam, totally. And because of my job, you probably get a lot of scammers, like in real estate and whatnot. And I'm like, anyway, so I looked her up, and it seemed legit. And she's like, she wanted to interview a realtor with special skills to audition for the show for House Hunters.
Special skills.
So I ended up auditioning. It was over camera. It was over a Zoom call, but I had an audition with HGTV for House Hunter as a result of that gig.
Did you do it in drag?
I did it in drag. Yeah. It was amazing. They ended up picking an American girl and doing the production in America. So
as a drag performer?
As a drag performer. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. I don't know if they actually went through with it or not, but they wanted Dora or me, Benoit, as a realtor with special skills. So which is funny because
it's just the word special skills. It's
special skills. It's fucking hilarious.
I'm sure there's lots.
I have a lot of special skills. Oh, shut up.
Would you say that's one of your most challenging experiences since becoming a realtor, or do you have something else that was super challenging?
Well, there was one other time when I don't know how they reached out to me. This young man, very cute. He was like 23, 24. He was just about to get married to his little girlfriend, and they wanted to buy their first house together. They're in Vernon. And again, I can't remember how they got my number. So I'm like, sure, let's go. Let's meet up. So I took him out for lunch. That's usually what I do is like, well,
just him or both of them?
Both.
Okay.
Him and his wife, or fiancé.
Right. Yeah.
Fiancé. Am I the only one who finds that word really annoying? Fiancé. And because I love first-time home buyer, I'm like, yeah, sure, by all means, let me take you out. We went to a restaurant in Vernon, and we're sitting there, and I could feel resistance or discomfort from the lady. And I make it a point of mentioning, usually to mention that I'm gay. I don't go meet people. Hi, I'm Benoit. I'm a homosexual. But
second sentence.
The second sentence is, hi, Benoit. I'm a realtor and a homosexual. No, I actually mention my husband in a conversation always or casually, and that's my way of saying, if you don't clue in by now, and if you're not comfortable, let me know now.
Totally.
And it turns out I got a message the day after saying that their pastor, their church leader or whatever, suggested they find another realtor because I wasn't suited for their lifestyle. And even though I do this on purpose, it was a little hurtful in my career. Like, I'm like, what the fuck does it have anything to do with?
Well, exactly.
I'm not sucking your cock. I'm selling your home.
Exactly.
I mean, my husband said if it's $1 million listing, I can do pretty much anything.
Which is pretty much any listing nowadays.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's gone up 5 million or something. But yeah,
it's tough to feel that kind of discrimination.
Yeah, it's fucked up. And that got me angry right away. It was, and then I felt real. And so it was so funny. The guy, which it's totally gratuitous. Again, not a judgment, just an observation. Total judging. He reached out to me after on his own on Facebook because they signed a letter together. They sent me a little letter. It was kind of cute-ish. Saying he wanted to pay for lunch and give me money for my time. I'm like, no, that's fine. It's part of doing business. I'm not, at the end of the day, I always say this whenever I go especially for listing presentations or when people interview me, because that's very important in this business, is you need to jive with the person you're working with. And they didn't, and that's fine at the end of the day. Yeah. Because I'm gay, that's not okay. Maybe you didn't like me because of my French accent, or you didn't like me because I've got a giant nose or something like that. But whatever. It's not that big, is it? And I don't know if I would want these people not to say anything. But there's actually no need. Like, you know what? We decided to go with somebody else.
Totally.
Yeah.
Would have been nicer.
Yeah.
And so, sorry, he just reached out to pay for anything. Did he apologize or anything?
No, I don't think he didn't quite apologize, but because obviously in his mind he did nothing wrong, but I guess he felt a little guilty, so I think he's just maybe a little closeted.
Tell me how you really feel.
Tell me how you really feel. Yeah.
Is there anything else you do in your business to specifically, I guess, target or attract the queer community? Yeah,
I've sponsored, for about a year, I was sponsoring Drag Queen Paint and Sip.
Okay.
Which is an event with another queen, Sasha Zamalatikova, a good friend of mine. And so basically I helped produce it for the first little year and put it together, which was great. It turned out to be a good event, and she's pretty much making not a career out of it, but
she's, I think, she's doing well.
Yeah, she's doing well with it, which was great. I do the Pride Festival in drag.
That's right, because usually you and Sarah share a booth, right? Yeah,
well, the first year I did it by myself, and last year Sarah and I did. So the second we did it, I usually do. I've done it twice. I'm so long doing this.
I mean, that's really all we've had since you become a realtor. That's pretty much all that
we've only had. We've
had Pride festivals all throughout. Right. We were some of the only ones that actually had one in 2020 and 2021.
I'm not a very pro queen. Like, it takes me 4 hours to get into makeup, where a lot of my sisters.
A lot of shaving to do.
Yeah, a lot of shaving to do. Yes, I do shave the beard, which is so funny because I will show pictures of me in drag to people, and then they look at me and they're like, "Do you shave your beard when you do drag?" Like, what the fuck? Like,
look at the picture.
Yeah. Yes, I do shave my beard.
No, I put a whole latex skin on my face to completely cover it up.
So I would have sometimes my big real estate banner, and I'm standing next to it. I said, "Do you recognize him?" And they're like, "Oh, you know that." And they think it's my husband because he's got big glasses too. I'm like, "No, it's not." But yeah, I love the Pride Festival, and the reason I love it is, and it costs a little bit of money. It's not, it's not outrageous, but I don't get any clients out of this. Like, I don't. People are not there looking for a goddamn realtor. Let's face it. They want to buy pride flags and knickknacks. But the first year I did it, I got such a kick out of it, and I went in thinking it was community only. I didn't expect anything. I got a little bit of flyers handed out, and you never know. But to me, it's very important to be part of it. And there's always other realtors. And I remember this one lady, I can't remember who it is. I don't remember the office. And I said, "Oh, hi, I'm Benoit with Benoit Realty." And I'm in full drag at the time. And she's like, "Well, that's a good idea," and walked away. So, I love shocking people a little bit. So I really love it. And my favorite thing at the Pride Festival is the youngsters who've never seen a drag queen who stop and want to take a picture.
Yeah, that's fun.
They don't give a shit that I'm a realtor, and I couldn't care less.
That's the fun part of Pride.
Yeah, it's early, and oh my God, the first year was hilarious because it was really warm and sunny, and my makeup actually caked and cooked on my face. Taking it off that afternoon was so painful.
And kind of along that same vein, and with community, is there any specific LGBT focused initiatives that are kind of near and dear to your heart?
The Rainbow Railroad, it's more personal. Like, I don't really, not yet anyway. I haven't really combined it with publicly about this, but I find this so dear to my heart because we have homophobia here, and in perspective, the president of Burundi said that we should all get killed, or whatever, however he said, and he said that 2 weeks ago. Right. And to me, wow, that's fucking appalling. Mm-hmm. And we don't have to go far. America is also another place where, in the United States, it's just like, what? Like, some people can't visit their spouse who are in the hospital because they don't have the same rights. Yeah. That's fucked up.
Yeah. And
so I feel very blessed and lucky to be in Canada. Yeah. And I find Kelowna mostly open-minded. Even Vernon, actually, I was pleasantly surprised when we first moved there. Actually, the few incidents when I got the glance, so like Dean and I will walk around the street holding hands. And the one time we were right in front of the Cactus Club, and we're walking, and we got this buddy told his friends to point his finger at us, and was like, we were a show. We were they were just totally grossed out.
Yeah.
Or something. It was just, that's only happened here in Kelowna, but not in Vernon, which Vernon tends to be a smaller town, but they're very friendly.
It's funny, though. We always say that. It's Vernon, the last couple of years has come a long way with, we were doing queer events there. There's other people doing some queer events, and now they have their own Pride Society. And so Kelowna's gone a bit backwards sometimes.
And obviously, I've already getting the interview. I don't need to suck up to you, but a lot of it is thanks to you. Like, you pioneered a lot of our community, really. And Ella is my drag mother, and Sasha, that I'm quite close to. They kind of started the drag scene here, maybe 10, 15 years ago or so.
Totally. Do you have any kind of legacy that you want to leave for the queer community?
I really want to break the mold of the business world.
In what way?
I'm tired of the gray suits, the near dead white Caucasian, or they're white and Caucasian, white male, they dominate the business world, and not in a good dominant way, in the way that's not with consent. That's really what I do. And if that means doing other drag real estate event, that's one way to do it. Still doing the Pride Festival in drag, because it's fun. but really just to break the mold, to say, you know what, like, I mean, the tattoo thing has been done, like, of realtors and business people doing all things, but we're still, and not just in Kelowna, like, there hasn't been any other drag queen real estate event in Canada, and I was trying really hard to find some online in the rest of the world. It's not really queer. It's not just, I mean, not all queer people identify with drag and vice versa, but it's my way of doing it and having fun doing it and being like, you know what, it doesn't matter who you are. I couldn't care less. Like, just come to me if you have money and you want to buy a house.
Exactly.
You know, and if you don't have money,
you're not a piece of shit.
Yeah, and you're not a piece of shit. And if you don't have money and you want to find out how you can buy a house, you know, and stuff like that, like, and can I connect you with other people? But just really breaking that mold, like that constipated business banker, anal retentive gray suit. I hate gray suits. Actually, I have a gray suit. Never mind.
You should have wore your gray suit.
Well, I'm fabulous with a gray. I look fabulous in a gray suit.
Okay, I want to do lightning round. So it's this or that. There's no, just whatever comes first to mind. No explanation. Dinner at a fancy restaurant or home cooked meal.
Home cooked meal.
Multiple short vacations in 1 year or one long vacation.
One long vacation.
Mexico or Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Spain or Portugal.
Portugal.
Vancouver or Victoria?
Victoria.
Early riser or sleep-inner?
Sleep-inner. Fuck mornings.
I did that this morning. It's like I was so discombobulated.
I hate mornings. So for the longest time, I used to say I'm a night person. And, you know, we're having dinner with friends or something. And I'm like, I don't do mornings. Mornings do me. They wear me out. They have me in. I'm more of a night person. And my husband looks at me. He's like, you're not a night person either. You go to bed at 9:30.
Audiobooks or real books?
Real books.
For business, are you more of a debit or a credit card user?
Credit. Get the points.
Agreed. Bank or credit union?
Bank.
Dog or cat?
Dogs. I have 3.
Yeah, 3. Jesus.
Cats.
Spotify or Apple Music?
Apple.
Yeah, me too.
It's easier to...
Popcorn? You a popcorn eater? I feel like people either they love popcorn or don't love popcorn.
I'm not really. I get stuck in my...
No? That's what floss is for. Does fruit belong on a pizza?
Fuck no.
I agree. Favorite type of music?
I like a little of independent alternative. Okay. Like Sinead O'Connor was one of my all-time favorite.
That was more than 1 or 2 words, by the way.
One or 2 words. I thought you said 1 or 2 answers. No. 1 or 2 words. Oh,
that's okay. We're good. I just had to give you shit. Favorite time of year?
Spring.
Yeah. Favorite place to travel for a vacation?
I don't know.
You don't have like a favorite vacation spot?
Well,
it can be a country, like, or a city or whatever, like just anything.
I want to say Hawaii.
Okay, that's fine. Hawaii it is.
Okay, sure.
How do you handle work-life balance and self-care as an entrepreneur?
Well, that's a good one. It's a tough one for me because I love working, and when I get going, I can't stop. And my job being ebb and flows, it's all or nothing. Like, I remember once I had 7 transactions in a month. Doesn't sound like much because people don't realize what's all in the background, but it's a killer. Like, 4 a month is full-time work or busy. Yeah. I don't have an assistant, so I do most everything. I have to schedule time off for myself. And when it gets very hectic and chaotic and I'm at the end of my rope, I'll have to give my phone to my husband and take off or I take off the emails or the work related, and I send an email out saying to my clients and everyone, I'm off. You cannot contact me. Right. So I'm an all or nothing, right? It's I'll go to the end, and then it's usually my husband that looks at me and is like, the one time
your phone away.
the one time is like, I'm taking your phone. I'm like, no, I have to do this. Or my computer's like, what's gonna happen if you don't do it right this moment? I'm like, nothing. He's like, I drew you a bath. Go downstairs. And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet of you. I didn't do it for you. I did it for me.
So really for both of you.
That's fine. Thank you.
Yeah. Tips or strategies for building resilience or perseverance in the face of adversity?
Especially men. Not that I want to be stereotypical, but it's still very much in our culture that you don't acknowledge the feelings, the anger, the disappointment, the hurt, the pain, the sadness that comes with a business. And I see that a lot in my clients. A lot of men, especially the middle-aged Caucasian men who haven't had a really hard life. I tell them, and I've actually changed my vocabulary. I try not to use the word emotional with them, because selling your property is one of the most emotionally triggering thing you can do.
Totally.
Oh no, I'm not emotional. And they get pissed about this. They get angry at this.
Yeah.
So I see it a lot, and I'll tell them it's a very stressful time. So just acknowledge the feeling and have a confidence. Like, being a realtor is can be very lonely. Kind of like an event planner. There's only one event planner. There's only one realtor in that transaction. Well, there's two, but I'm the only realtor. And often the case by case, every transaction is different, but often I feel alone. Like, I feel very lonely, and it's very important to reach out. My friend Sarah is very good for that, and a few others too, because they can relate to what I'm going through.
Totally.
So acknowledge the feelings and reach out.
That's great. Thank you. Do you have any favorite books or podcasts that have helped you along your entrepreneurial journey?
I read a lot of Star Trek novels.
Okay.
It's like the equivalent of Harlequin novel for some, or whatever. I get into this world, and it's quite funny. I'm a bit tricky, and I know some small, tiny little details. It gets me into that world, and the setting of that is great, because they've embraced diversity for so long, which is quite funny. It gets me into another world. I can forget and get in there. So I don't have a lot of business books per se that I care about. I rely heavily on my business coach.
Oh, okay.
And other mentors in the industry.
Yeah.
But no, not business per se. But
Okay.
that's what I do for my businesses.
Yeah. The coaching side. No, that's good. What advice would you give other queer individuals who are thinking about or might aspire to be an entrepreneur?
Call me. That's not an advice. That's just though that means I'm here to help you if we resonate. And I have that a lot. People either they think about starting a business, or becoming realtors, and let's go for coffee. I know that's what I love doing. But do your research. That's, I think, one of the most important thing. 2 out of 3 realtors don't last a year.
Right. And
a lot of them is because they haven't done the research. They haven't figured out the course is not...
They think they're just going to be rolling in the money in a month or 2.
Yeah, they think they can just take the course over a weekend. And, I mean, it's not becoming a brain surgeon. But it's, it's a little bit of work. The math aspect is pretty challenging for most realtors. And so I think doing the research is the most important thing, and support. Any
last closing thoughts?
Just hire me to sell your house. Fiance.
She'll do it in drag.
I'll do it in drag if you pay enough. That's it. Actually, I've always wanted to do that. I want to do, for the right listing one day, is do a video presentation of the property. That's been done in LA. I've seen it in LA and in Australia, but I want to do that here and have a little tour of the house in drag. I think that'd be great.
But yeah, well, thanks for coming on the podcast. It's great. I got to learn a little bit more about you and your past and whatnot, and look forward to working together more in the future.
Likewise. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. And thanks for tuning in for another episode of Queerprenuers Unleashed. You can watch the full video on Unicorns Live, the full audio. He's trying to tell you to call him. The full audio is uploaded onto our podcast platforms and all the major podcasts about 2 weeks after it goes on Unicorns Live, and then eventually we put about 50% or so of the video onto YouTube about a month or so after the initial podcast. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks.